Belal, it's always good to catch up with you, man. Bully B, always an exciting character to speak with. But we got to start right where it matters most, man. Give us the update on the eye, man. How's the vision right now? I still see a little bit of damage around there. But I mean, can you see? I guess that's the most important thing.
Yeah. Thankfully, the vision's good. Vision's back to normal now, so I'm able to see. I just got the stitches out. I had 3 underneath the eyelid that had to get removed. But yeah, there's like the eye's bloodshot, but it's still like I'm able to see and everything out there. So thankfully, we're good.
That's awesome, man. Stitches in the eyelid. I mean, is that freaky? Did it hurt? Is it weird to have people like messing around with your eye?
It was scary just because the dude was like, I'm getting right to the eyeball right now, so do not move. Do not make any sudden movements because you're like the needle is gonna be close to your eyeball. And I'm like, oh my god. So then it's like you're literally right after a fight. You're sitting there like, oh crap, and they got a big light in your face, and you're like telling you not to move. And I'm like, all right.
I know you guys are tough, man. Everybody that does this for a living, but when it comes to your eyes, man, that's got to be a little scary.
Man, yeah, it was honestly like the scariest thing because I literally thought I was blind because I was sitting there like, when you move your eye around a little bit, but you can't see anything. And I was like, oh my god, dude, did I just go blind right now? Am I like done? And literally I was like, because I've gotten poked in the eye before where I needed like laser surgery, where I needed to get like a tear in the retina where they needed to like laser it back closed. So I was like, please don't let this happen again. Don't let the worst. So and thankfully I was able to see light once I went to the back. And then once I got to the hospital, like the doctor was able to like open it up with like his fingers and I was able to see. So I was like, oh God.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you because that moment, right? I mean, when you start breaking into tears, I mean, it's serious. Like I think everybody that watched it was scary, was scared for you, right? So
yeah,
I was trying to put myself in that position. I was like, I wonder what's going on like through his head right now. Like I'm sure the emotion of, hey, this was my big opportunity and this is how it's ending. I'm sure that was there. But I mean, when you said I can't see anything at that moment, are you thinking like I'm blind in this eye and my fighting career is over?
Yeah, honestly, that was the biggest thing where I literally thought like I was done fighting. Where I was like, because I'm thinking that my eyes open and I just can't see anything, and I'm like it's all black. So I'm like, this is how it ended. Like you wait your whole life, and like literally my life could have changed with a win right there, and you're thinking about it all week. Like I win this is gonna happen, or even like you're thinking about losses sometimes where you're like, well, what's the worst that can happen? You get knocked out, you get submitted or something like that. Like there's really nothing crazy that's gonna happen from it. But like I literally thought I was blind and I was like, man, am I done? This is how it's gonna end right now, is just with an eye poke. And I'm like, bro, it's only the second round. So like, and then also for me, like my mentality growing up was like, you don't pull out of a fight. You don't stop fighting until like you're out cold or like the ref pulls you off. But then I felt kind of like a loser because I'm like, this fight ended because of me? Is this why is this the reason? I'm the reason this fight's ending? So it was like a lot of emotions.
That's tough to deal with. I guess you don't want to focus on the negative too much, but is that some kind of like a reminder that like you said, you're thinking about, hey, what happens with a win here? What happens with a win here? You're not going into a fight thinking, this might be the last time I ever do this.
I mean, like you want to try to have that mentality where like this is my last fight, so like it makes you fight fearlessly. But like, yeah, you never really have that mentality. But Anthony Johnson like messaged me and he was like, "Bro, I had the same thing happen to me and on Spike TV. I'm telling you right now, don't forget this moment. It's gonna make you stronger." And like it meant a lot coming from a guy like him. But like, think back, I remember him getting poked in his eye that day. But like, he's like, he still thinks about it. So it's like, wow. He said like it motivates him still.
That's awesome. Well, last thing I want to ask you about the eye poke. I mean, now that you've been through it, I mean, it continues to be a discussion over the years, right? Like, how do we fix this? How do we make sure that people don't have this happen to them? And, you hear we need new gloves. We need to change that up. You hear maybe the referees, need to be given penalties a lot more stiffer, taking points away a lot quicker. Have you thought about it? I mean, not that you all of a sudden need to be the guy that figures out the solution, but obviously it impacted you a lot. So have you had any ideas of a way to make this better?
Man, it's crazy. Literally, we told Herb Dean in the back, we're like, we're going to be wanting to wrestle. He puts his fingers out like this. Please watch it. So, like, we're like warning Herb Dean already. So then, the first eye poke happens, and we're like we told you this is going to happen. So, like, I feel like it should be automatic point taken away, or even like a half point taken away. Go half points now, take a half point away, um, because like you said, like in practice rooms and things like that, like you guys that do that, guys that ever poke me in practice or anything like that, we're not training together. We're not. You're not in. If you're training with the pros and you poke somebody in the eye, like the coach is kicking you out of practice. Like you're not at that level, because literally like eye pokes, like you could change somebody's whole career. Like you see, Winklejohn literally lost his eye from a toe in the eye. So it's like this sport is already dangerous enough with everything else, your whole body and everything like that. So, but like eyes are the worst, because that's life changing. Like there's still life after fighting, and if you lose your eye, that changes everything. So like I feel like definitely points should be taken away. I mean, people keep talking about the Pride gloves. I never used the Pride glove, so I don't know how it works. But I know that Onyx has a new glove that they say is a game changer. But like I said, I've never seen these. But I think the biggest thing now is just like if the refs start taking points away right away, it's gonna make guys keep their fists closed, and it's gonna make guys train that way. Like you shouldn't be training like this. Like your hand should be closed the whole time at practice or training, anything like that. Like there's guys that go their whole career without ever poking anybody in the eye, so it shouldn't be like a normal thing.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see that Honest glove too. I haven't seen that either. I keep hearing good things about it, but I haven't seen it. So you said you're back to working out. So I mean, is there a timeline for how soon you can fight again, or how soon you're wanting to fight? I mean, is it just the eye, or are there other things that you want to deal with? What's the schedule for you?
I got Ramadan coming up in April. I'm still gonna be training during it, but I'm hoping maybe June. June works out perfectly for me. I literally just had 3 back-to-back camps in a row, so it's like I want that. And but like I said, if it's like one of those where if they're willing to like do the rematch and they want to do it sooner, I would like I'm healthy enough to do it sooner. But I'm actually going to Ethiopia, like on a mission trip.
Oh wow.
Yeah, April 10th to the 20th. So after I do that and I'm back here, it's just back to work.
Very cool. You talked about the rematch. I mean, obviously, I think there's arguments to be made for why it should happen. Leon has kind of been a little bit dismissive, and I guess I kind of understand his point of view as well, right? Like he's like, "Come on, man, I was trying to get my title shot, and I did this just to stay busy. Don't make me do it again." So, but on the other hand, what a it's not like he's going to get a title shot right now off a no contest, and what other fights are out there for him right now. So I see both sides of it. So what do you think? I mean, when you hear him being a little dismissive, does it upset you, or do you say, well, I know how the game works?
Yeah, honestly, for me, that was pissing me off more than anything was just the way he was being so dismissive of it, and like, oh yeah, I won the first round. All the other rounds would have been like, no, like it was one round, and it's a 5-round fight, and I'm a guy that literally picks it up as the fight goes on. But his way of thinking is just like stupid, honestly, because if Dana White literally said, hey, if Leon wins against Belal, he's gonna be next in line for the title shot. So if I'm so easy, why don't you just come and take this easy fight? It's going to be the same paycheck that you're going to get to fight somebody else. And there's literally nobody else for you to fight. Like none of these other guys are trying to fight you. So like this fight makes sense. It has a story behind it now. So like even in the UFC's eyes, they can just build it back up as that. And literally Dana White said, if you get it, so like you're not getting the title shot right now. So why not take this fight again? Especially if it's such an easy fight.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I feel about it, right? Like, I think it'd be more marketable now because, like you said, there's a history there, and like you said, he's not going to get a title shot next. And I don't mean that as any disrespect to him. It's just there's other contenders out there, you know what I mean? And I would think, kind of like you said, if he thinks he was dominating you, then just come dominate me again, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like as you see now, where it's like guys are getting title shots that can sell. Like Masvidal hasn't beaten anybody ranked, but he's getting a title shot because he's the biggest seller right now and the biggest draw right now. So it's like you're not really a draw. Even for I literally had 80,000 followers that fight week, and I'm over 140 now. So like I have more than you now. So like I've grown more than you that week. So like it just tells me that even that week, more people were more interested in watching me than you. So like for you to try to, your selling point is you're on a 9-fight winning streak. People don't really care about that anymore. It's all about like you're not very active on social media. You're not very good on the mic. So it's like maybe a heated battle with somebody that you have history with now, that it'll a fight that'll build itself hey, people start wanting to watch you now. Maybe people start, well, all right, well, let's see how good this guy is. Well, this guy gave this guy a rematch because he's the one who messed up. He's the one who did it. So like maybe he'll get that too, where he'll get fans like, well, he's respectable. He's a man. Like he messed up and he's a man and he's taking his looks like a man, so he's giving a rematch. Something like that. Something to help build him up.
I like Leon a lot, man. I really do. And I feel bad for all that he's been through as well. But I agree, man. I think this is the fight to make right now. So let's hope that happens. Listen, you mentioned the rematch. I want to ask you, I know you're a bit of a fight fan and an analyst as well. So, Masvidal is jumping back in there with Usman. This time he's got the full camp. What do you think? Is this a more competitive fight? I mean, I know that first round last time was very competitive, but then it kind of went one way. Do you think this is a different fight the next time around with Masvidal getting a full camp?
I mean, it's still kind of like a short notice, still not that long of a camp that most guys would want for a title fight. But for me, I'm more excited to see Usman because you saw his striking the last fight. He dropped Gilbert with a jab. So, like, I'm willing to try to see him giving him a little more time with Trevor Whitman. I want to see if he's going to bring a little more striking to this game. The last fight, they all said it was boring, and he got a lot of criticism saying that he was just foot stomping and holding him against the fence. So maybe they come out a little bit more with a little bit more striking, a little more ground and pound. But like I said, Masvidal was always one of those guys where his takedown defense was super good. That last fight, even though it was like literally a couple days notice, he was still hitting Usman with a couple good strikes. But I still think it's just going to be the same old thing. I think Usman's going to be able to control him, push him against the fence, and just control the time. But I just want to see if Usman now, coming off a knockout, a lot of guys, grapplers that had come off knockouts, they fall in love with the striking game. So I wonder if that's gonna affect Usman in any way where he thinks, all right, well now I got knockout power, so let me show him I can strike with him a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great point. We've seen that happen over the years, right? And they don't stick with what got him there. And Masvidal is going to be trying to get under his skin the whole time, just trying to mess with him. So, can he bait him into a striking fight? That would be interesting.
And especially with fans back in the stadium now, you get a couple of Masvidal gets more energy from fans. It could be interesting.
I like it. Well, we got another big welterweight fight this weekend, too. I want to get your thoughts on that. Vicente Luque versus Tyron Woodley. Vicente, a guy that's kind of been just underneath the surface for a long time, but a dangerous guy. Meanwhile, Woodley, a guy that's been there. There are a lot of people saying, what's he got left in the tank? Where's his passion at? That sort of thing. So what are you seeing in this fight? You like anybody in particular in this one?
Man, I just feel like Woodley needs this win so bad. Where, his last couple, like he still fought. Like he may be on a losing streak, but look at the guys he's fought. He's fought like the best of the best in the division. So like this is one of those fights I feel like to see if he still has it, if he still wants it. This is one of those fights. I don't think Luque's grappling's where Woodley's grappling is. And Luque likes to get in barn fights a little bit, and Woodley still has that power. I think if Woodley comes out smarter wrestling, I think Woodley could take this fight and get back in the win department.
Yeah, that'd be a big one for him. Well, a lot of big things happen at welterweight. So let's ask, man. You got like you said, you got Ramadan coming up. You got the mission trips. You got things going on. Is there a deadline? I mean, do you have a backup plan? I mean, if for whatever reason this rematch doesn't materialize, I mean, are there names, dates? I mean, what are you just kind of taking as it comes right now? What's the plan?
I mean, obviously, I want a big fight. I feel like I still earned a main event spot just being willing to take a fight on 3 weeks' notice. So a guy that I feel like would be a good main event spot with me, Damian Maia, and he's top 10. I feel like I deserve somebody top 10 coming off 4 wins in a row. So I think that fight makes sense. I haven't gone against a real grappler in the UFC yet. So fighting a grappler, it excites me. I want to just show that side of me. And to fight a legend like Damian Maia would be cool.
Yeah, no doubt. That'd be awesome. That's a true legend of the game, man. And he's not going to be doing it much longer. So that'd be a good one. I still hope the rematch happens, but that would be a nice basketball.
If they have the rematch, I'm not going to say no.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, most importantly, man, no matter what happens next, the great thing is you're healthy, right, man? There was some scary moments, man. I really felt for you, man. I remember kind of giving analysis after the fight, and I was like, man, I feel like I'm giving analysis too soon. Let's just make sure this dude is healthy and has his vision again, man. So it's great to see. And I guess for anybody that's thinking about you, worried about you, what's the message you want everybody to know out there about kind of where you stand right now?
Man, I appreciate that. Honestly, I got a lot of people asking about me, and it means a lot that people actually really care. You'll have them losers that are trolls and stuff like that, but like the real true fans that really cared about my health. I really appreciate you guys. And well, I just got to wear my sunglasses now when I fight.
That would be pretty great, man. That'd be pretty great. Cause see how long they let you have them on, man, before they say something. Well, Belal, it's awesome that you can joke about it, man. Hopefully we get this rematch booked or at least a big fight next. And but like I said, most importantly, man, you're healthy, and that's what matters most more than anything, right?
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.